So on this part of training your dog with a tug toy, I want to talk about how to get the dog to release the tug toy, which is very, very important. Dogs become very possessive over their toys. This works with a ball, a tug toy, anything else. It's the hardest to do with a tug toy because the dog has more of a drive and is learning that we should be playing with the dog. And it's a ball, we don't generally try to pry it out of the dog's mouth. That being said, never try to pry a toy out of your dog's mouth by doing a lip pinch on the teeth or by hitting your dog or anything like that. I'm going to show you a couple very sane and humane ways to get the dog to out the toy. The first one I'm going to show you is trading A for B. I call this two ball or two tug. So when I let her have the toy, I go, yes. And when she has that one, I immediately produce another one. And I say, yes. And when she lets go of that one, she gets this one. And then when she's playing with this one, I keep playing with her, and then she gets that one. And now I'm going to start adding a cue to this. So I'm going to add a word to it. My aus, yes. And she gets this toy. Then I play with her, and then I let go of the pressure. My aus, yes. And I let her have that one. Aus, yes. And she's just going to learn, aus, that whatever I have is more fun for her than what she has. Aus, good girl. Good girl. Aus, yes. Good girl. And the more she learns that I have another toy for her, aus, yes. Good. The more she'll play this. So once I teach her to understand how to trade the toy for another toy, I can now have her tugging on this toy, and I can hide this one. And I can tell her, Maya, aus, no, aus, yes. And then produce the second toy. Hide this one, tell her, aus, yes. And then produce this one. So if she thinks I have one hidden, it starts to set up the game much better. Maya, aus, yes. So I bring it into the picture after she gives me the right obedience. I hide it, I play with her. Good girl, oh, good girl, good girl. Good, aus, no, aus, yes. And I give her the next toy. One way that I teach my dog never to out, or I should say one way I never teach my dog to out, is when I've got pressure on this. So at this point, I'll never say out, because she's in the fight. I want her to stay in that fight. What I will do here is release the pressure, hold it still and say aus, no, aus, no, aus. By still and making the object completely still, I've got a better chance of her letting go. Yes. I let her fight with it. I'll hold still. Aus. No pressure. Aus. Good. Yes. And I let her have it. That's method 2. So by making the object very, very still, aus, no, aus. I'm not putting any fight. Sits. I'm not putting any fight into it. As soon as she lets it go, yes, I give it back to her. So I don't withhold it in the beginning at all. So as soon as she aus, nope, aus, nope, aus, aus, good, aus, yes. Right away she gets rewarded again. So she thinks the game starts when I let go of the toy, right? Aus, still, no movement, no pressure forward. She hasn't let go yet. Aus, no, aus, no, aus, 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 Platz, aus. So if that way doesn't work, what I can do is put her in obedience position like Platz or down and tell her aus, and here, aus, no, aus. Here she'll let go, and as soon as she does, yes, I give her the toy again. You need to be patient on this in the beginning so the dog understands that it's a game and they have a total way of winning this game. Good. Here she's playing, I tell her Platz, down, aus, she outs it, yes, the game starts again, right? Same thing here. Good, Platz. This is a fun way of interjecting obedience in with your dog, in with your game. Platz. Good, aus. Yes. And she plays again. Good girl. Oh, what a good girl. Those are the simplest ways of getting your dog to let go of the toy. Now, you might have a dog that won't let go of the toy at all. And if you have that dog, What I don't want you to ever resort to is hitting the dog, kicking the dog, pinching the dog's teeth, pinching the dog's lips, on their teeth. Those are all very cruel things to do. If the dog will not give up the object, whether it's a toy or a ball or whatever it is, whether it's in play mode or obedience mode, the simple, fairest way to get the dog to let go is to have a good martingale collar on the dog and just gently lift up, tell her aus, and when she lets go here, aus, good girl, yes, she gets to play again. Maya. And here, I can lift up on the collar, just lift her front feet up, aus, good, good girl, yes. And by putting that yes in there, we're teaching her, aus, yes, good girl, Maya. And you can see that her spirit is none the broken for doing this. In other words, I'm not hanging the dog, I'm not hurting the dog in any way, except in shutting down her drive a little bit, that when I say here, aus, I try aus, she doesn't, I take up a little pressure, aus, good girl, and then right away I let her play again, yes, and she gets to play. Remember, the game starts right back after the release when you're playing this, when you're teaching the dog how to let go of the object. So when I want the dog to out it, this will piggyback onto the leash pressure we talked about, that if I lift up here, the pressure comes off as soon as she drops this. Yes. And she'll understand that every time I lift, I'm not choking, I'm not doing this on a choke chain, I'm doing this on a martingale or a flat collar, and lifting up, aus, and the faster she lets go, yes, the faster she gets it. Aus, yes. Right, Maya, good girl. And I always start playing again. So although that is a negative, it is a correction, it's an aversive, however you want to look at it. It is not a punishment at all. I'm not hitting the dog or scolding the dog. I'm simply telling the dog, aus, no, aus, good girl, aus, good, yes. She gets to play again, right? Here we go, one more time. Good girl, aus. I wait. Now she may, see, she outed without ever lifting, which is exactly what we want. Yes, good girl. So now we're gonna try it without lifting at all. I'm just gonna put a little pressure here. Maya, aus. And she's outing it cleanly now, which honestly she never did before. Yes, good girl. Do it one more time. Maya, good girl, come here. Good girl. Keep your spirit up with her, play with her. Good girl, good girl. Good, I put the pressure on. I don't put the pressure on, I just show where the pressure is. Maya, aus. No, aus. She lets go without any pressure. So I used 4 or 5 corrections to guide her to what I want. She gives me what I want. When she gives me what I want, I give her what she wants, which is a game of tug. And that's a fun way to teach your dog how to play tug, to reinforce good behavior, to block bad behavior, and to show your dog exactly what she should be doing in order to have a happy life and a happy game with you. Good girl. Mwah. 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 Good girl.